6 habits that make aging faster. This is an absolutely natural process, but the problem is that many people accelerate aging by their own habits, and they do it every day. The most dangerous thing is that most people don't even notice these changes. People think that constant fatigue is normal, that a bad dream is just age, that reducing energy is a common thing. But very often the body begins to wear out much earlier, precisely because of the lifestyle. Today you will learn 6 habits that literally make the body age faster. Almost everyone has some of them, and perhaps some of them are present in your life right now. Watch this video to the end because the last habit seems harmless, but it affects the body more than many people think. Go. The first habit is chronic lack of sleep. Sleep is not just a rest. While you sleep, your body recovers. The cells are being updated, the nervous system is resting, muscles are being restored, the brain processes information, and the skin starts updating processes. But when there is constantly not enough sleep, the body begins to work literally hard. Fatigue appears. It's getting harder to concentrate. Productivity is falling. My mood is getting worse. And the face starts to look more tired. Studies show that even one sleepless night can significantly affect the state of the body. But the biggest problem is that people are starting to get used to this condition. A person can live with chronic sleep deprivation for years and consider it the norm. Chaotic sleep patterns are especially dangerous. When you go to bed at different times, your body doesn't know when to recover. And if a phone is added to this before going to bed, the situation becomes even worse. Blue light from the screen suppresses the production of melatonin, a hormone that is responsible for quality sleep and body recovery. As a result, even if a person sleeps enough, the quality of this sleep can be very poor. The body does not have time to fully recover, and the consequences are gradually accumulating. Therefore, sometimes the most beneficial thing for health is not another vitamin or supplement, but just a normal sleep. The second habit is constant stress. Modern man is almost never completely calm. Work, notifications, news, traffic jams, financial problems, anxiety. The brain is constantly on edge. When stress becomes chronic, the body begins to live in a threat mode. The level of cortisol, the stress hormone, increases. And if short-term stress is sometimes even useful, then constant stress literally destroys the body from the inside out. Sleep problems begin. Irritability appears. The skin condition worsens. Weight may increase, especially in the abdominal area. Many people notice that they start to look worse during periods of severe stress. And this is not an accident. Chronic stress really accelerates age-related changes, but the problem is that people get so used to stress that they stop noticing its effects. The body can live in overload for years, and one of the most common mistakes is trying to numb stress with food, sweets, alcohol, or endless social media browsing. This provides only temporary relief. In fact, the body needs rest. Sometimes even a simple walk, physical activity, normal sleep, and reduction of information noise significantly improve the condition. The third habit is a sedentary lifestyle. The human body is made for movement. But today, a huge number of people spend almost the whole day sitting. At the computer, in the car, on the couch, with the phone in his hands. And the body begins to gradually adapt to this. Blood circulation is deteriorating, the metabolism slows down, muscles weaken, there is more fatigue, and over time, inactivity begins to affect almost all body systems. People often think that movement is just about sports or weight loss, but in fact, movement is directly related to the health of the brain, heart, blood vessels, and even energy levels. When a person moves little, the body seems to switch to economy mode. There is a feeling of lethargy. There are fewer forces. The general state of health worsens. And the most interesting thing is that sometimes you don't need heavy training to make noticeable changes. Even regular walking already gives the body great benefits. Regular walks help to improve blood circulation, reduce stress levels, and keep the body in a more active state. Therefore, movement is not just about appearance. This is literally one of the ways to slow down the body's wear and tear. The fourth habit is excess sugar and constant overeating. Many underestimate the impact of nutrition on aging, but the body reacts very strongly to what a person eats every day, especially for excess sugar. Too much sugar doesn't just affect weight. Sugar triggers processes that damage collagen, a protein responsible for skin elasticity. Because of this, the skin may lose elasticity faster, wrinkles appear, inflammatory processes increase. In addition, constant spikes in blood sugar also affect energy levels. After a lot of sweets, a person may feel a sharp increase in strength, but then there is often a severe recession. Fatigue appears. I want sweets again. And this cycle repeats over and over again. The most insidious thing is that sugar is almost everywhere today. In drinks, in sauces, in yogurts, in products that many consider useful. And it's not about giving up sweets completely. The problem is precisely the constant excess. When the body receives too much sugar and too little normal food every day, this gradually affects both well-being and appearance. The fifth habit is the constant use of the phone before bedtime. Today, many people do this automatically. Before going to bed, people scroll through social networks. They're watching a video, they read the news, they respond to messages. And it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with that. But it is this habit that greatly affects the quality of the body's recovery. The light from the screen interferes with the production of melatonin. Because of this, the brain receives a signal that it is still day, not rest time. It becomes more difficult for a person to fall asleep. And even if sleep comes quickly, its quality can be significantly worse. The next day, fatigue appears. It's harder to wake up. Concentration decreases. And if this is repeated every day, the body begins to recover worse and worse. Many people have been living with a feeling of constant fatigue for years, precisely because of poor sleep quality. Sometimes even turning off the phone 30 to 40 minutes before bedtime already has a very noticeable effect. The dream is getting deeper, there is more energy in the morning, and the body begins to recover better. The sixth habit is lack of water. Many people drink too little water during the day and don't even notice it. But the body is very sensitive to dehydration. Even a slight lack of fluids can affect your well-being. Fatigue appears, concentration decreases, the skin condition may worsen, headaches appear. Sometimes a person thinks that he does not have enough energy or wants to eat, although the body really just needs water. This is especially common in people who drink a lot of coffee, sugary drinks, or energy drinks. It is important to understand that water is involved in almost all body processes, and when there is not enough fluid, the body begins to work less efficiently. Of course, water is not some kind of magic pill, but a normal water balance does affect your well-being, energy levels, and even your appearance. Sometimes the simple habit of drinking more water already helps a person feel better. Aging cannot be completely stopped. This is a natural process, but many people accelerate it with their daily habits. A bad dream, constant stress, lack of mobility, excess sugar, the phone at night, lack of water. All this gradually affects the body more than it seems. But the good news is that the body knows how to recover. Sometimes even small changes make a huge difference after a few months. The best dream. A little more movement, less stress, a more normal mode, and the body begins to work in a completely different way. The most important thing is not to wait for the moment when the body starts literally screaming about problems. The sooner a person starts taking care of their health, the easier it is to conserve energy, well-being, and quality of life. Write in the comments which of these habits turned out to be the most problematic for you. And subscribe to the channel if you want more simple and understandable videos about health, energy, and longevity.